Eala's fans took things too far against Cirstea and it needs to change. Eala defeated Cirstea 7-5, 6-4, to book her place in the quarterfinals of the Dubai Tennis Championships. As usual, Eala's fans were in fine voice. Filipino flags were scattered around the stadium, as the 20-year-old produced another fine performance to set up a mouth-watering quarterfinal clash with Coco Gauff. However, while Eala's ever-growing fanbase has had a largely positive impact on tennis, they didn't cover themselves in glory on Thursday night. Cheering missed first serves and errors from Cirstea, some fans crossed the line, and that needs to stop. Disrespectful Eala fans need to behave better. Tennis is a sport rooted in respect. When a player misses a serve, first or second, cheering is frowned upon, as is celebrating a wild, unforced error, or making noise while the point is still being played. A large section of Eala's fanbase failed to follow all the above rules during her third-round win over Cirstea. They crossed the proverbial line on several occasions, which forced the umpire to intervene. He asked the fans in attendance to show respect throughout the match, and his tone by the end of their third-round clash told you all you needed to know about what he thought. The constant cheers frustrated the umpire and Cirstea. That's not to say all of Eala's fans were disrespectful, though, as many cheered on both players. It is, however, important to recognize that many of Eala's fans are new to tennis. The 20-year-old is the only Filipino tennis star there's ever been, introducing many in the nation to the sport for the very first time. Therefore, it's probably unfair to expect them to know how to behave correctly at all times. It's going to take time, and it would be unfair to suggest they aren't trying. Ahead of the first ever WTA event in the Philippines earlier this year, the tournament's official Instagram account shared several posts explaining tennis rules. What are the 5 most common tennis shots, how tennis scores work, and what is a hard court, were all questions they answered. In addition to those posts, the tournament shared the following message about tennis etiquette on Instagram. The rules might seem obvious to longtime fans of the sport, but it can be a lot to take in for someone new to tennis. That excuse won't hold up for long, though, and Eala risks the wider tennis world turning against her if the Filipino fans can't get it right. What could happen to Eala if fans don't start behaving with respect? Right now, Eala is beloved by most fans around the world. However, that won't be the case if this continues. Fans can turn quickly, and they will if the consensus is that the Filipinos are disrespecting Eala's opponents. If you need evidence of that point, look at what happened with Joao Fonseca. Just like Eala, Fonseca's Brazilian fans showed up in numbers for his matches last year. Filling stadiums, the Brazilians pushed too far at times, cheering opponents' mistakes. The public perception of Fonseca remains relatively positive, but many have been turned off by the disrespect some Brazilians have shown to his rivals. Fonseca and Eala are 2 of the brightest prospects in tennis and have both grown large fan bases. It would be a shame for Eala to suffer the same fate as Fonseca and lose fans because of the actions of a select few. Only time will tell if Eala's fans can turn things around. They'll have a chance to prove themselves when Eala takes on Gauff in the quarterfinals of the Dubai Tennis Championships on Thursday, February 19th. In the bright heat of competition, passion often feels like oxygen. It fuels the players, electrifies the crowd, and turns a simple tennis match into something unforgettable. But sometimes, that same passion mutates. It crosses a line. It stops being support and starts becoming something uglier. That's what happened when fans of Eala took things too far against Cirstea, and it needs to change. This isn't about tennis technique, rankings, or forehands down the line. It's about responsibility. It's about the kind of sports culture we want to build in an era where every emotion has a comment section. The rise of a young star. Eala represents more than herself. She carries the hopes of a nation that rarely sees itself on the main stages of global tennis. Every point she wins feels historic. Every tournament she enters feels like a breakthrough. For many Filipino fans, her journey is personal. It's pride. It's validation. It's possibility. And that pride is beautiful. But when pride turns defensive, when it feels threatened, it can become something else entirely. After a tense match between Eala and Cirstea, Emotions flared online. What should have been post-match analysis and healthy debate turned into waves of insults, harassment, and personal attacks directed at Cirstea. Comment sections filled with accusations. DMs turned toxic. Some fans framed Cirstea not as an opponent in a competitive sport, but as an enemy. That's the moment the line was crossed. Competition is not combat. Tennis is an individual sport, but it is not a war. Two players step onto the court knowing only one will win. That's the nature of the game. A loss is not a betrayal. A victory is not an act of aggression. Sorana Cirstea has spent years grinding on tour. She has battled injuries, endured slumps, celebrated triumphs. She has built a career through discipline and resilience. Reducing her to a villain because she stood across the net from a beloved rising star ignores everything sport is meant to represent. Athletes are not characters in a scripted drama. They are professionals doing their jobs. When fans attack an opponent personally, mocking appearance, questioning integrity, spreading misinformation, they stop defending their favorite player. They start damaging the sport itself. The digital mob effect. Social media amplifies everything. A single comment becomes a thread. A thread becomes a pylon. Suddenly hundreds, sometimes thousands, of strangers are speaking as one loud, angry voice. In the past, a frustrated fan might have shouted at a television. Today, that frustration can reach the athlete directly. Mentions, direct messages, screenshots that circulate endlessly. The result? Real human beings absorbing real hostility. We often forget that athletes scroll too. They see the comments. Their families see them. Their teams see them. What might feel like harmless venting to a fan can feel like targeted harassment to its recipient. Supporting Eala should never mean tearing down Sorana Cirstea. National pride should elevate, not isolate. When an athlete carries national expectations, emotions intensify. For Filipino fans, Eala symbolizes progress. Representation. A future in which Philippine tennis belongs on the world stage. But true national pride is dignified. It does not need to insult others to prove itself. It does not need to belittle an opponent to validate its hero. If anything, attacking Cirstea undermines the very respect fans want for Eala. It creates an image not of strength, but of insecurity. What message does it send when a player wins, or loses, and the loudest reaction from supporters is hostility? Athletes often speak about wanting to inspire the next generation. Inspiration includes sportsmanship. It includes grace in defeat and humility in victory. Fans are part of that ecosystem. The burden placed on young athletes. There's another layer to this: pressure. Eala is young. She is still building her career.